Okay, this video is it's more like I don't even call it an observation. It's something I've always been saying in most of my videos, articles, posts. I mean, even offline, it's always been my message, things I preach about. Well, I'll just start it with a little story. So, this Peugeot 407. I think first time I saw that car was sometime last year. So the car was having some electrical issues. In fact, the first time I saw the mechanic called my attention to it, was having a serious cooling system issue, and he didn't want me to. I don't, mechanics. They will want to do everything, even though it's not their area of specialty. So he didn't want to connect me with the owner of the car, but he wanted me to come and find out why the car was overheating and the rest of that. So in fact, to cut it short on that part, I just look at this and realize that they messed up the fan cooling system. What they did was they removed full 7 fan and put full 6 fan, and of course they run it direct. So the fan became weak after spinning constantly for who knows how long. So it became very weak and it was no longer spinning fast, it was just dragging. So meaning it was just at the point of death. So even though it was spinning, but the flow was no longer enough to push air through the radiator and push out the heat from the engine as well. So the car started overheating. So I looked at it and told the mechanic, see, you have to tell the owner there's no way you could use that fan. It has to, before you have to remove it and buy the complete Peugeot 407 fan with the wiring harness and then do the connection. I mean, it's very funny because the funny thing is, even when eventually the owner gave the go-ahead to the mechanic to tell whoever that will do it to buy the fan, I was not the one that bought the fan, but he called me to come and reverse the stupid connection they did and connect it factory. The point of doing that was even when I found more severe abuse on the wiring system of that car. Not just, in fact, the fan was even just a tip of iceberg, as in the car was a mess. To start with, after reversing it, of course, I had to use my diagnostic tool to check the rest of the systems. And now at that point, that was even when I realized that the ECU was even the wrong one. The car is a 4-cylinder engine and it has automatic gearbox. Unfortunately, the engine ECU I made there was not for that engine. And another point was they've already even worked on it. They've changed it. They replaced it and put something else. And even the one they put there, they've already repaired it at some point. Or maybe they done repairs on it before the owner even bought it, or whoever that bought it and replaced for him. So, meaning they probably have tampered whatever that is inside the ECU. And also, like I said, it's not meant for, and it's not even meant for automatic gearbox. The ECU they put was also meant only for manual gearbox. So many other things that if I keep saying, yeah. So I told the mechanic, see, you are just wasting your time. Tell the owner he has to start from the beginning. Track all those things, pull out all those crap. Both the ECU, the BSL unit, even the BSL was a mess. I mean, so I told the person you have to get rid of it because there's no how, the way they designed this automatic transmission, it can only work well with automatic transmission ECU. No, the engine ECU, the program to work with the automatic transmission. But right now, the engine ECU is not seeing the automatic transmission because it's not designed to work with it. So the automatic transmission is also not seeing the engine ECU. So two of them are working differently. No, two of them, no, this one doesn't see the other, this one doesn't see the other. So the transmission will never shift very well. And I told the mechanic, no matter what you do, and if you are not careful, you're going to lead to the death of that transmission. I left, and from the look of things, it appears either he told the owner ignored it, didn't care about it as long as the car moves, or he did not tell the owner. Few weeks later, they towed the vehicle. Yeah, they towed it to this workshop, and I came. I think forgotten what it was last weekend. I went there for something. I realized, for what he was telling me, the transmission has died. Yeah, it failed completely, and they wanted to change not just the transmission, the engine as well, because the engine too was weak. So they went and bought transmission complete with the engine. Fairly used one. That's the one we call Tukumbo. That's fully used with the automatic transmission complete. I mounted it, and the engine, of course, there's nothing wrong with the engine. The engine started, even though it took almost 2 days for us to start, because the electrical issue the car had could prevented even the newly mounted engine from starting. Eventually it started and started running well. Then the transmission issue came up again. I remember the whole thing was because the other transmission failed. This one refused to work well. The selecting was, it's just, most times it start from gear 3, sometimes it start from gear 1. Sometimes it will refuse to shift to a higher gear. Like I said, there's no the engine issue. The transmission issue doesn't know what the engine is doing. The engine doesn't know that there's automatic transmission at times. So two of them are like running on issue, running differently. No communication, nothing. Of course, everything I say fell on deaf ear. Either the mechanic did not inform the owner, or the owner was informed or didn't care. They refused the transmission, put it down, returned it, bought another one, same issue. In fact, right now as I'm talking to you, it's almost like the 5th transmission now. They've changed almost like 3 or 4 times. Same issue. In fact, the 3rd one they changed. They said, okay, let them use it for like 2 days. The 2nd day, transmission failed. This is not like it just stopped shifting. Now, the reason why I wanted to tell this story is a few days ago, was it Saturday or Sunday? I forgot it. So somebody called me and said he was looking for a Peugeot 407 to buy. That he wants to use it for Uber or Taxify, that he wants to use for commercial purposes. You know what I mean by Uber, not like normal taxi. So, but he doesn't know which Peugeot 407 to go for, because he has no idea, he's not familiar with it, he knows nothing about that vehicle or about Peugeot, because if you understand Peugeot, you know that you probably will know more about Peugeot 407, because you understand the system there. So he doesn't know, he knows nothing about Peugeot 407, but he wants to use it for Uber. So my question then was to him, have you watched my videos, read my articles, and so many things I've talked about online about Peugeot 407 that is very good, or the type or the version that can serve you well for that kind of purpose? He said, yeah, he has been watching my videos, following me up. That's why he decided to go for 407 based on what I posted in the video, that 407 can serve for Uber. But then I kept repeating the question, did you watch where I specifically mentioned the type that can serve? Just because he has 407 badge does not mean it will serve you for that purpose. Because 407 comes with various transmissions, various engines. So not all of them are meant for that kind of purpose, which means it's not that you cannot do it, but you'll be running at loss. What's the point spending every profit and everything you make in fueling the vehicle to run Uber or Taxify, or spending to maintain the vehicle, because the cost of the parts of that particular model is higher than the other ones that you could spend just little to maintain. So while that was going on, and I told him, see, either you go back and watch those things and learn, arm yourself with this knowledge so I will go back to the market with them, or that there's somebody I know that wanted to sell his Peugeot 407, and I know the history of that car. I remember I told that person I know the history of the car, and at least not like I know the last time I saw the car was like 2-3 years ago, but ever since he bought the car, I've seen the car, diagnosed it for like 2 times, 3 times. The first one was a fuel pump issue, the second time was the ABS issue, and so I know how the owner uses the car. He's the kind of person that any small thing you want to get it fixed, the last thing he would do on his car was to abuse it. So I knew the kind of person he is when it comes to maintenance. So when he wanted to sell the car, I was like, damn, this is the type of car I would recommend to anybody who is interested in a clean Peugeot 407 with so and so engine. And what's the engine I'm talking about? Engine that I recommend for the car kind of purpose, which is Uber, Taxify, and the rest. That is EW10J4 and manual transmission. Yes, that's the fact. That's how the car came. He bought it directly from outside Nigeria. It's not like he bought it, he imported the vehicle. So that's why I say I know the history. So it's not like they converted it from auto to manual. The car, I know how good it is, how clean the inside and this outside is. I'm not saying it doesn't have any issue at the moment. At least, like I said, the last time I saw the car was 2 years ago, so there could still be some issues here and there. But I'm talking about generally about the car, the way the person that used it. You can actually tell when you know somebody who maintains a car well, and you say you want to sell the car. You don't need to, you inspected the vehicle just to know, okay, minor few things you want to do. Not like, let me know whether you abuse the vehicle. Somebody like me now, if I want to sell the car, you know how my car will be. That's my point. That's where I'm coming from. So I told the guy, give me some time. I'll make the inquiry, find out how much you wanted to sell. He said 1.2. The person that wanted to sell the car. So I told the person who is interested in buying, he said 1.2. And the other guy was saying 900,000, the one that wanted to sell. I said, okay. It's not too far from the other, but this is a car I would recommend to anybody. If let's assume I'm interested in Peugeot 407, that kind of engine, I will look for that one. In fact, not just the money, it's something if I could just buy it and later sell, because I know when you see a car that have that kind of value. So I was thinking the person will even, if you're pricing a car that the owner is selling at 1.2 and you have up to 900,000, there's every possibility that the person will eventually sell it at that amount you have, or even sell it as, okay, later add up a little, maybe another 100 or 200. Depends. As in, show seriousness first. So here is the deal. I was saying to the person, if you are serious, let's work it out. Of course, I told you pay this my service fee, which is 20,000 naira. So I'll follow it up, inspect the vehicle. Even if you decide not to get the car, I'll look for another one, clean one at that budget for you, the one that will serve you that purpose. But from what you were saying, I could tell that probably he wasn't interested. The only turn off for him was that 20,000 naira I charge, which is the service fee. Yeah, to him, well, why would I spend additional 20,000 naira to pay somebody for something I could get myself? When you know nothing, zero, as in you have no freaking idea, zero knowledge on Peugeot 407. With everything I've been talking about, how people abuse cars, kill their cars, and they will package it and sell it off. And you want to risk your 900,000 because why would you spend 20,000 naira to give somebody that knows how to pinpoint, detect all those ones they've messed up? Now, let me connect the dots from the first story I told and this second one. That first person now, the one that is going back and forth with automatic transmission, with the abused wiring system, with the abused cooling system, and the rest. He now came up recently from one mechanic was telling me that he wants to sell the vehicle. In fact, all he's caring now is where they just find another gear, but how do whatever he has to do, even if get another gear. But once the car can move and this thing, they will put it on more and sell it off. Somebody is going to buy that car. Someone is going to buy that car because if you know nothing about the 407, all you need is you jump it and you can start the car. They'll tell you, oh, it's Tokumbo engine and Tokumbo gearbox. The body of the car doesn't look that bad. It's not like it's the kind of test my test, but it's not like a car will say somebody don't buy it because of the body. So my point is, it doesn't look bad. It's not something you discourage anybody from buying, including the interior. So eventually somebody will buy it. He could be this person that because he is probably looking for a cheaper option. He may even sell it at that high price. How would you know? Because as far as you're concerned, you go into the car, you kick it, it moves. You may not even know that the movement that is starting off from gear 3 because you know nothing about the vehicle. Yeah, it will move. How would you know? Or maybe you notice that the gear is not shifting well, they'll tell you, oh, it's not a big deal. Just change the ATF, the issue will go away. And then you don't know all those issues. For example, that car, let me tell you another secret you don't know. Once you disconnect the battery and do anything on the engine bay and reconnect it, the car will not start. He has done it to that mechanism. Most times he will call me. In fact, most times the only way for the car to start is he will have to disconnect the engine ECU again, disconnect the engine speed sensor, connect it back before the car comes up again. Anytime you touch anything, just to tell you the kind of abuse that has been done that is now crashing the engine ECU. Whenever you try to do any repair on that engine, that is there, and somebody is going to buy that car. Probably are very cheap because the man may decide to sell it at giveaway price and somebody will watch and say, he has gotten a good deal. Or he may still sell it at high price because that's the engine every Nigerian is looking for, EW10J4 with automatic transmission 407. That's a good deal. A good deal. That's good for Uber. Then you buy. The reason why I'm saying this is that car, that 407 that has been messed up, even if the owner now eventually call me and say, hey, take this job and do for me, I will not. Because I know what it will cost to fix that vehicle. Electrically, I'm not even talking about mechanically now. I'm talking about electrically, what it will cost. And because of the kind of mentality he has, I don't need to see him to know. You can tell who is somebody, in fact, show me your car and I'll tell you the kind of person you are when it comes to car maintenance, period. It doesn't have to be an expensive car, but from when you see somebody's car, you know how the person values that vehicle. It's very simple and very logical. Like I say, it doesn't have to look very new or anything, but even when it's a very old car, when you see somebody that values his car, the state of that car will tell you whether the person is the kind that abuse the vehicle or not. Because if you actually value your car so much, trust me, you will rather take it to dealership and spend so much than give it to a quack you know that is going to kill your car. Or you rather start fixing it yourself. Or you go to, even when you go to those local mechanics, you stay there, will never allow anybody to do what you don't understand or you find it very uncomfortable on your car. So I know that kind of person is not the type that when I give him my quotation is going to pay. So why bother? So I told the mechanic, even if the person calls me tomorrow, with the state of that car, I will not. Because number one, he may likely not be willing to accept my charges. And this kind of person is the type that, because this kind of issue it's not like you see everything at once. These are just few ones I've seen. In the process of now trying to fix everything, other things will be coming up. And if you now start telling that person, there are other things I need to do, he will feel it like, if you claim you are so good at what you do, how come you didn't see all the other one? When you see someone that had that kind of mentality, like just anything goes, because I was like, the story that behind that car is if I keep telling it, he took it to another place, they just keep killing the car. I remember when I was telling the mechanic about the fan, he spoke with the owner. I think he's called the owner for something, and the owner said, put it like that. So eventually, people are gonna call because it happens almost like on a daily basis. I've been watching your videos and find project interesting. I've been reading your articles and I found your, your topic or your position on project very interesting. And eventually I went for one and now I'm having nightmares. This is doing to me, this guy is doing me this are doing me this. Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Please, whatever it is, just find when I have time I'll talk about if I have time I'll do a video on that. If I don't, go and watch my own videos. I don't care. You see, it doesn't. I don't care how the car is killing you because you know what? From 2010, 2010, I've been online spending most of my private time preaching to people how to avoid having all those nightmares. Telling people from beginning, sharing secret that most people will not do. See, let me put it in another way. I don't want a workshop, and I have no interest. Maybe tomorrow, but right now I have zero interest. I have so many other ways money comes into my experience. So workshop thing is not a desire for me. So most people, most project mechanics, or most project technicians or experts, they don't actually like what I do. Because what I do is I share all these secrets that prevent them from making money from you guys. Why I do it is so that you won't have to, it doesn't mean you say won't take your car today, but at least you won't have to suffer some of these things most other people are complaining. Or some of the things I have used my eye to see how people destroy their vehicles. I try to talk to do, explain, even sometimes I share some things, how to do some one or two things by yourself. Or even if you don't know how to do it or you're scared to do it, at least when the vehicle is being diagnosed or repaired elsewhere, at least you know when somebody start going to that area, you stop that person. Worst case, you pack your car, leave that there, look for another person. I share all these things and also give warning. If you know nothing about these are no longer 504s or 505. That's pure mechanical, no electrical, no sensor, no this, not that. Everything is mechanical. These are now electrically controlled. So don't just go and jump in because they look very new or very cheap and then you start complaining tomorrow. Because I know how Nigerians abuse their cars, both mechanically and electrically. But the one give people so much headache is the electrical issues, not the mechanical. And I do all this thing for many years. I keep saying that even with all the insults and name calling and whatever I get when I'm doing all those things. If you go to Netherlands, you see all kinds of you can't just you just have to go there and see for yourself. Everybody there is more like everybody here hates me to the core that I don't know. Just because I stood outside, I said, fuck everything. I'm for Pojo, I love Pojo, and if you want Pojo, this. And then that anger, for me to even talk about Pojo is boiling inside them. But I say it, do everything, go everywhere. So I'm doing all these things, and people listen to all these things and read all this. They will still go and buy all those abuse. Even after saying all those things, don't go and do it because it's cheap. Find somebody who, even if you can't afford my own charges, I've said this several times, even if you can find somebody who knows these things, who can dictate all those abuses they covered up and spray the car and put it for sale. You go and watch it because it can start and move. You think that's how, because 504, yeah, it started up. Once it can start and move, then you have no problem. It's mechanical. So if there's any mechanical issue, it will show itself there. But this one's, no, mechanical will start and move. But the electronics that control the mechanical, after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 days, they will start shutting down. What will you do? Your money is gone. You can't take it back. You do it, but you just be going back and forth. And then you start complaining. After you've been warned several times. And some people, they will buy the car, and yes, everything will be in good state. Even after all the warning and every preaching I've done, don't do this to your car, they will start doing all those things. Give it few months, few weeks, 1 year, 2 years max, the car is dead. So that's the thing. So I don't know. If you know you can't really afford, I always tell the people to, I don't work for Pojo. It's not like Pojo is paying me a dime in all these things. I'm doing it out of passion. I love fixing my car myself, working on my doing so many. So But sometimes people will call me, please use your knowledge on my own vehicle so that I have peace of mind. And when I start, I look at it, I say, okay, we can bring it over. Let me do it. And you give me this in exchange of the value I put in your vehicle, which in this case, money. So don't think that, oh, that's my work. So you're entitled that I should be out there all the time helping you guys. No, I have a life. So if you choose to go and buy because I charge you 20,000, you choose to go and buy an abused car because why would you pay me that 20,000 naira? Yeah, you go out to and buy one because it looks very cool. It starts and moved and rave and drove. So what will be the problem? Don't worry. You will tell your own stories. You're not the only one. But understand that my door is not always open because by the time you come and start calling, I will just cut off. I'll tell you, send message. If I have time, I'll respond. If I don't have time, it's not my problem. You made that choice. Remember, you knew all the risks, but you made that choice and you have to live with it. Like a man, don't start grumbling and do those things because no matter what you say, there are people, majority of people are enjoying their Peugeot cars, even those so-called complex electric cars. Yes, they are enjoying their cars, and you are not. Who do you think the fault is from? From the vehicle, from you, or from Peugeot? So I'm just giving out this video. I know it's taking some time, but who cares? You know, some people will still watch this video. I'll still go ahead and do what they want to do, and some people will watch it and it will resonate with them. You know, find somebody. It doesn't have to be Lion King. Yes, I charge 20,000. I may even increase it tomorrow. I can't continue with this amount because I know the risk I also take. When you are going to inspect or buy a car for people, there are so many risks involved. Knowing that you may even end up buying a stolen car for somebody and you are in for it. So don't think I'm just doing it. You don't even know what I put in. What is 20,000 considering the risk I'm taking for you? So there are so many people you can use their services. They may even do it for you for free. But they don't just go and buy a used car unless you now have that knowledge. Maybe after your first Peugeot, second Peugeot, and you are interested in all the technical things, you start gathering the knowledge so that next time you can do it yourself. You don't just jump in. These cars, you may buy a car 700,000, 900,000, only for you to end up spending close to 1 million naira for the car to even move the next 1 month, and it will skip. And there's something that even happened in my present. 2 ECUs, it blew up. 2 engine ECUs blew up. And the first one he bought was from Lagos, 170,000 naira. They connected it, started the engine. Less than 5 minutes, the engine died. Smoke started coming out from the ECU. Gone, 170,000. Why? Because of wrong connection. You will not understand until you get into it. Then you start calling Lion King a wicked man for not answering your phone, for not helping you out on your car problem, or for not trying, accepting or not agreeing to diagnose your car, which you bought one nonsense. Of course, if you go and buy an abused car, don't expect me to start diagnosing. If I look at it and see that the abuse there is too much, I walk away. Take the problem to somebody else. Maybe he may do it for you for free or do it for you for less amount. I prefer peace of mind than headache. If you go and buy headache, you deal with it. It's not like I cannot fix no headache. But I know you can't. Well, if I charge you 200,000, 300,000 for me to, or 500,000 as labor for me to fix your headache you went and bought, of course, you will insult me. You will call me names, right? Because you prefer I take 10,000. What 10,000 may even be too much to some people. I'm supposed to charge you 2,000 to fix a 500,000 naira headache. So I'm just pointing it out that risk is there for those who probably have never had all those my preachings. So be very careful. If you know a car handle Peugeot, you want a car you can always buy by yourself, then go and buy another car. Forget about Peugeot. If I buy a used, especially Nigerian used Peugeot car, and you know nothing about Peugeot, especially modern Peugeot, either know these things. You may end up buying a very good car all by yourself and you won't have any issue. Or the second risk is you may end up buying a car of whatever hundreds of thousands or millions to buy it, and you regret the very first day you made a change of that money to acquire that car. because it's going to be a money pit. The more you put money, the more you swallow it, and the car will still stay one place. It will never move. Even if it moves within 5 minutes and die again. You keep putting money until either you scrap the car or you package it and sell it to another innocent, or not even innocent these days. I won't call them innocent because they have a choice to look for somebody who knows about the car to tell them either to buy or walk away. They chose, so they are not innocent. So that's all for this video. All right.